Hello, everyone. Live on Facebook.
Oh, are we live already? I was waiting for the
Yeah.
little bar to do its thing where it moves across this. I'm just going to move.
Ooh.
I'm going to turn the volume down on my phone, as one should always do when one is in a meeting with others. Sorry about that, peoples. Hello, good morning, world.
Hi, world. How are you?
Hello, good morning, Monica.
Hey, Jadian. How are you? Also,
I'm very well, thank you. I'm loving these colours and this very Nordic sort of onesie thing.
yeah, I thought I'd try it out. I think I'm like trying out my Christmas outfit. So I was like, I wouldn't usually put on a necklace this early in the morning because it seems like, oh, I couldn't put a necklace that early in the morning. Oh, I couldn't have chocolate not this early in the morning. No, I couldn't have a necklace this early.
I
But
usually wear my best jewels to bed, darling. I wake up with all my diamonds up my nose and in my ears. It's just crazy.
oh god, yes,
Oh,
you haven't pulled the diamond for a sphincter. You haven't lived.
and that's an early Saturday morning thought for you there. How's your week been?
um, yeah, it's happened. I feel like we've been zooming. Well, for me, zooming through it, trying to get everything sorted out before I have a Christmas break. Not necessarily preparing for Christmas. I say Christmas as if it's going to happen. Ooh, it's obviously going to happen. But yeah, so I started off maybe a little bit sadder because obviously with us going into tier 3, which meant some face-to-face shows I've been really looking forward to were
Yes.
cancelled just for a hot minute. Then I was just like, the world is bigger than you, Monica Gaga. People are actually dying and you don't get to play on stage with your characters. Get over it. And I'm like that because yeah, I just counted my blessings that I'm in position that by those shows not happening doesn't mean that like I can't pay my rent. So for me, I was just like, come on, context is everything.
Yes, that's a very woke week you've had.
What about you? Tell me your week.
I've just been working and working. I had a little adventure. I had to get on the train and go out to Enfield Town on Wednesday. And I had one of those times when the trains were cancelled and then had to stand on the platform for a long time. And then the postcode for the place I was going to that I put into the Google Maps took me down some weird cul-de-sac in suburbia. And I just was standing in this cul-de-sac, and I was really stressed at this point because haven't been catching public transport or anything. I mean, yes, I know they're doing a very good job with cleaning it, but I'm just avoiding it as much as I can. So
That's what they're asking you to do, so that's
yeah.
good.
So it was a bit stressful, and then with the trains and then getting lost. And so I was just imagine me standing in a cul-de-sac in the middle of suburbia, just going. But I sorted it out, and I got there, and it was all fine.
Could you do your memoirs called "Crying in a Cul-de-sac"?
Oh, I love that idea. Crying in a cul-de-sac, the true behind-the-scenes story.
There we go.
Okay, I shall write
All was
that.
fine. All was fine in the end.
Oh yeah, no, everything was absolutely fine in the end. Absolutely fine in the end. And but when I got home, I did have a very long nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to get on the tube to go to a show, and then I was just like, "This is very busy." I know I'm on there, but I was like, "This is very busy." It's like we haven't had a pandemic.
Yeah,
Like,
I've not been on the tube since February.
oh wow!
Yeah, well, I never really caught the tube very much anyway. As you know, I'm sort of a walking person.
Mm.
Yeah, so going underground. Are there still mice down there?
Oh, I don't know. Well, I suppose mice. It's not the apocalypse, so they're still there. Although even after the apocalypse, maybe mice and roaches will still be there. It'll be just us that will be gone.
Maybe they're just coming out and taking over more now that there's less humans around.
They're gonna be like really like brazen, like like having like a what's it called, like a snood, a cup of coffee, and like I don't know, a newspaper, and just being like, "You haven't been here. We've evolved."
Yeah, and they'll have their little scooter boards for 4 feet. Scooter
Yes,
boards. They zoom around on going zoop zoop. What's going up this end of the platform? Zoop zoop. We're relocating.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see that happening. All right, lovely. Shall we do a little? I'll just have another slog of coffee.
Slog, slog. It's a hard slog.
Hot slug of coffee.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do a little rhyme then.
When I finally got on to the tube. I felt like I was a traveling noob. This feeling of going into a confined space really did make my heart did race, but I had to get to my location, the venue there, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in such a mare. But I put on my headphones and headed through those opening doors, and then it closed upon me. I felt like they were closing just like jaws.
But I took a deep breath and calmed myself down, tried to turn upside down that frown, and I found myself a seat over by the door, and I sat down with my feet firmly planted on the floor. And I thought, go into your mindful place, bring yourself calm in this tiny little space. And as I looked around at the other people there, I could see that they also had slight amount of care, but they too were staying calm. It was like a general collective sort of balm. And the doors closed and the train sped off into the tunnel. Down we went at a massive funneling speed along the tracks, racing along. Would we ever go back? I was going to get to my destination soon, and then I would be out of this little tin room.
And everyone did, of course, have a mask. And through this tension, this speed, we all did just gasp, because all of a sudden the train came to a halt. And then it did stop, and obviously with a jolt. We were in a tunnel, all of us there. I wasn't used to being around this many people. It was difficult. It wasn't something that I felt like I could bear. And suddenly I felt closer to them, because I've been cooped up like one of those caged hens, and it's been so long since I've been in a space with other humans, and I felt like, oh, this is just so grand. And then we slowly did that thing that you on tubes you usually never do, and a thing that you cannot bear. We made eye contact. That thing we did stare, but it didn't feel like awkward and uncomfortable and unjust. It felt like something that would just make your heart just bust. And obviously we kept our distance, because we did take care, but oh my gosh, we had social interaction with social distancing. Oh, and it was, a beautiful thing to bear.
And as time went on, we started to speak. At first, we all were ever so meek, but then we started to chat about where we were going, why we were here, all the toing and froing. Some people had bags of their shopping, some for work. Some people had been to see others outside as to twerk, and one person had in their bag a box of Christmas crackers, and they pulled them out and said, let's do some snappers. And they started snapping them and then shouting out the jokes. There was laughter rattling around among all the folks behind their masks, very subdued, as is the current mood, but there was a layer of joviality there, and suddenly it's like I didn't have any cares.
And off the train, I didn't even realize, but it started to move. And just as we started to get into that social interaction and into that groove, the doors did open onto the platform. And I thought, oh, this journey I thought would be terrible or tiring, and I would do yawn. But actually, I didn't want to leave my new family. It brought me, a little bit of misery. But I'll always remember that moment on the tube that day. And it was great. And if you may, I'd like to send out a thanks to all of the people on TFL, because actually you're doing a great job. And when I thought I would have to yell, I did not. So thank you this festive and Christmas time. You're doing a sublime job. You're doing just fine.
Yay! Yes, big thank you to TFL, to all the key workers, and you know, the lot of people doing on the transport and the bus drivers and the train workers and the really lovely people that helped me out the other day at the train station where my train was cancelled. They're still doing such a good job. They really are, and must be so stressful for them.
And it's just so amazing. All of these people, like we said, oh, going into lockdown. There's some people that are just like, I've been out with the general public since March. Like I haven't changed it. And it's all of those people and so much more.
It's another thing to remember with Christmas, everyone having to scale back. There's so many people that aren't going to get Christmas lunch because they're going to be working for us like they do every year.
Yeah.
So Merry Christmas to them all. We've still got a week to go. Shout out to the transport workers today. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much, Tinternet. Let's see if I can remember how to do this now so that I don't just I just closed the door on Monica's face last week. I was like, that's it. Oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. So have a lovely weekend, everybody, whatever you're up to. Stay safe, stay dry. Bye.
Oh, it's going to be a moist one.